All right, a little bit more in depth of what we can see from the water heater. Important to know that this is not the miner yet. This is the regular electrical water heater. I'm using this for a baseline to understand, for example, for a 9-minute shower, how much energy the water heater uses so I can then calculate what the Bitcoin miner will use. First of all, what we see is from here to here was the shower running. Um, the interesting part is the yellow, which shows how much hot water was flowing. We can see that at the beginning there was more hot water. That's because whoever uses a shower first turns on the hot water, waits until it gets hot, and then they dial in the cold water. So you can see the dialing in here. And then at one point, it pretty stays um, stable. We have here around 5 liters per minute, which is a little bit less than 2 gallons a minute. And then this yellow line shows the total water usage. So we go from 0 all the way when the shower is finished at 45 liters of water. But if you go step by step, we can see in the beginning the blue line is the water heater inside. So that's what the water is inside the water heater. Now we have to understand that new water is added at the bottom of the water heater, and the hot water is taken out from the top of the water heater. And because hot water rises, the hot water that will always stay on top. So that makes sure that in the beginning, the whole water heater, all of the water heater is one temperature, and that is around 124 Fahrenheit. And as soon as you start to use water, like I said, the hot water comes out on the top, new water is added at the bottom, and that means that even though the total temperature in the water tank changes, which is the blue one, it will drop massively. The water that comes on top out is still the same temperature. And so with that, you can ensure that the water always has the same temperature and you don't have to redial everything while you're showering, because that wouldn't be fun if the water temperature changes. So in the beginning, the water inside and at the outlet is roughly 124 Fahrenheit. Then as soon as the shower starts, the orange line, which is the outlet, rises up. That is because the temperature sensor that measures the outlet sensor isn't actually in the water heater. It's just outside of it, just a little bit outside. So that's why the temperature rises first, and we see the orange line, which is the outlet. So that's the water that goes to the shower, goes slowly down, and at the end of the shower, it's at 125. So it starts at 127 and it ends at 125. That's very high. So, or the difference is not that big, so you won't realize this while showering. The inside water temperature drops pretty fast. So it drops from 124 down to 97. And that's because new water is added from the water mains, the municipal water, fills water in. Now, as soon as the shower is done, what happens is the inside water goes up again, the temperature. That's because the water heater is running. And interestingly, the water heater, it takes it actually around 2 minutes to realize that it needs to heat again. And we also see that it first just heats with 2 kilowatts, and then it drops up to 4 kilowatts, and then it will heat the water. And even though the shower is done, the water heater will still continuously to heat all the water, and it takes it actually from, I started at 9:34, and the water heater stopped heating at 10 p.m. So it took 25 minutes for the water heater to heat the inside water, which is this blue line. It went down to 97 Fahrenheit, and it goes up to 121. Now, I don't really know why it didn't go all the way back to 124 Fahrenheit and it stopped at 120, but I think the temperature sensors are not 100% perfect. But so that's why it stops maybe a bit earlier. But the water heater definitely tries to heat the water always to 120 Fahrenheit. And on the right and the background, the blue, the red one, like I said, that's the water heater and the energy usage. And we can see this on the red line is the total energy that it used. So it starts at 0 watt hours and it ends at 176 kilowatt hours. So it used in total 1.76 kilowatt hours to heat the water that was used during 9 minutes of shower. It used 47 liters, 45 liters, and it took in total around 25 minutes to heat this again. So the plan is now to repeat this with the Bitcoin miner and see how the Bitcoin miner behaves. Will it maybe be, I hope it will maybe be faster to do all of this again. We'll see. That probably depends on how many S9s I have in there. And also to see if we use more or less energy. I'm probably expecting that it will use a little bit more because there are some losses, but the question is specifically how much more. So I will, over the next couple of days, measure all of this again, and we'll see how it goes there. Let me know if you have some questions. Tweet me. I'm happy to explain more. Bye.